Now let's have a look at yet another commonly mispronounced and quite difficult sound in English, and that is the j sound. I'm going to use the phonetic symbol for this sound so that it is clear, because many different word letter combinations use this sound. This is the phonetic symbol for this sound. You may find this useful when looking up words in a dictionary, as it will tell you when to make this j sound. And I will show it to you with some of the words we are going to practice with. Take a look at this word and think about how you pronounce it in Spanish. How do you think you pronounce it in English? It is a very good example of the differences between the pronunciation in the two languages, as they have two completely different sounds, even though they have the same spelling. If you say Jesus in English, nobody will know what you are talking about or who you are talking about. For a start, the English pronunciation has a z sound on the first S, but it also has this j sound at the start. Of course, the correct pronunciation in English is Jesus. You can see from wordreference.com that it has the phonetic symbol representing the j sound. This j sound is used everywhere in English, so you must be able to pronounce it, because in many instances you will be misunderstood if you don't. Major and mayor are great examples of this problem. The word is major and not mayor or mayor or some other variation. Mayor actually means alcalde. Here you can see the j phonetic in the word. Go and practice the word major in your speech-to-text recognition now and see how you get on. You'll probably find that you will have some difficulty in getting the correct result. Unfortunately for Spanish speakers, the sound doesn't exist in your language, and therefore you have to learn how to make it. However, there is some good news, and that is that you already have a sound in Spanish that uses the same action of the tongue and mouth. We have already discussed this, and that is the ch sound. So I want you to focus on the ch sound in the way you pronounce chica, charla, and chaleco in Spanish. Pause this video and do that now, and notice how you use your tongue to make the ch sound. Now, the only difference between the ch and j sounds in English is that in English we have to vibrate the vocal cords at the same time to make the j. Ch, j. There's no vibration with the ch sound. Make a ch, no vibration. Make a j, and you'll feel a vibration, j. So do that. We have on my left hand, I'm making the chaleco sound, ch, and on my right hand, when I say this, I'm making the j sound. Ch, j, ch, j. This gives you the vibration, the j sound. So put your fingers on your own throat, like me now, and make the ch sound. Ch. There's no vibration with the ch, right? Now make the same movements in your mouth and tongue, but vibrate the vocal cords like we discussed in the earlier lesson, and you will get the j sound. If you don't feel the vibration on your throat, then you are not making the sound. Practice making the sound and remember that it is not a y sound like you sometimes make in Spanish. So let's start with some of the commonly mispronounced words with this sound. Listen to the words first. Pause the video after each pronunciation and practice them in your speech-to-text recognition. Jam, jam. Major, major. Juice, juice. Judge, judge. Joke, joke. Project, project. Join, join. So let's have a look at these words. Jam. If you get a word beginning with Y, then you are just making the Spanish Y sound. Major. If you get mayor or mayor, then you are having the same problem with the Y sound. If you get measure, then you are pronouncing the J sound, as in kaija. Juice may have given you deuce. It's a different sound. Now, judge is a great word to practice with because it has the j sound at the start and the end with a short vowel sound in between. So I would suggest you practice this until you become fluent with it. Joke is commonly mispronounced as yoke because the j sound is not being pronounced. Project. Your speech-to-text recognition will probably give you the right result here, even if you mispronounce it. But make sure that you are not saying project or project. Notice that when used as a noun, the stress is on the first syllable, and when used as a verb, it is on the second syllable. Project, project. And finally, we have join. It's not join. You will have noticed that all of these words have a J. Every time you see a J in an English word, you must pronounce the J sound. And we use J a lot in English. Many Christian names have J, such as my own, James. It's not James or Yames. Let's have a look at more words with this J sound. So listen to them and repeat them in your speech-to-text recognition now. Gel, gel. Gesture, gesture. Allege, allege. Urgent, urgent. So those words all have J, G-E, and they are gel. It's not yell. Gesture is not yesterday. Notice the ch sound on the TU, gesture. Allege is one that many students have difficulty with. It is even more problematic when used in the participle forms, alleged. And finally, we have urgent, and it's not urgent as in urgencia. Words in English that begin with U are not pronounced like the U, in Spanish. Listen again. Urgent, urgent. And these next words will probably give you the correct results because they are names. But Angela is not Angela. George, notice the sound twice in this word, so that can be tricky. George. Roger, it's not Royer. Germany, not Germany. Advantage can also be a difficult word to get right because it also has that difficult V sound, the V sound. Advantage. Now, you should be aware that not all words with GE use this J sound. Let's move on to the J sound in words with GI. Try these in your speech-to-text recognition now. Gin, gin. Hygiene, hygiene. Giant, giant. Original, original. Let's have a look at those actual words. Hygiene may give you some problems, but that may be due to the H and the vowel sounds that you are not pronouncing right. Make sure to pronounce the H, high, hygiene. Just a note on the word Asian. Notice how I pronounce it. It is not pronounced ASEAN, and the continent is Asia and not Asia, Malaysia, Indonesia, etc. And again, not all GI words have this sound. Now listen to these words that have GY and practice them. Gym, gym. Eulogy, eulogy. Gypsy, gypsy. Allergy, allergy. Strategy, strategy. So those words were gym, eulogy, gypsy, allergy, strategy. And again, not all GY words use this pronunciation. Finally, we have the words with DGE. Try these words in your speech-to-text recognition now. Badge, badge. Ridge, ridge. Hedge, hedge. Lodge, lodge. Knowledge, knowledge. Let's have a look at them. Badge and ridge may give you batch and rich if you're pronouncing the ch sound instead of the j sound. Always bear in mind that if you are getting incorrect results, it could be because you are pronouncing other parts of the word incorrectly. Take knowledge as an example. Know, the verb, is pronounced the same as know, no, but in this word the pronunciation is na, with a very short vowel sound, knowledge. All words with DGE have this j sound. So that's it for the j sound. There is no avoiding it in English. and it is one of the most important sounds you're going to have to learn to make in English. There are thousands of words in English with this sound, so you will need to master it if you want to have good pronunciation. It will take time, so hang in there.